Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome to episode number 210 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. When we're struggling with finding the quote-unquote right job or the career path that we think will be the most fulfilling, we often think that there is only one thing that will create happiness, and that is getting this career part right and knowing this one path and getting that one job or promotion, or maybe not even working at all. Finding that one job thing that makes us the happiest. And I know this because people ask me this all the time as they're figuring out what's next in their career. What's the path? Is this the right job? How do I know if this is the path I should take? Should I quit? What if I'm settling? And I want to challenge this idea that your career is everything. And I will tell you why it isn't. And I want to challenge this idea that it is the sole reason for happiness or success in your life. And it is very normal to think this way, especially if you are a professional who has put in a lot of time and energy into your career. You have invested in education, professional certifications, and even just time in the roles. And that creates this desire to see even more impact and a return on the investment. And it can often feel like this race to see who is going to win this career and job competition thing. And it's hard not to compare yourself to people who are your age or graduated with you or have the same titles as you. And it's like that sunk cost fallacy where the more you put in, the more you want to get out. And you start to feel like, well, this might be the only thing I have going for me at this point. So I need to double down even more. I've already put in so much time and effort. What do I have to show? You also see other people who look like they have it figured out. They have the passion jobs or the things that look like they're calling. They look like they're living these big lives full of big money and big titles and big adventure. And you see how much other people love what they do. And you think, I want that too. I want something that feels like it was meant to be. Yet thinking that your career is everything is creating pressure and this feeling of anxiety over what you still haven't done that is not serving you. So I'm going to open your eyes to a new way of thinking and working that is so much more effective. Right now, you might be thinking to put everything into and focus on your career. Yet you're already tired, investing more time and energy than ever. So why aren't you feeling the extraordinary levels of freedom or joy or arrival that you think that this next thing is going to give you? The reason for this is because career success is not the linear equation it is often made out to be. The success that often comes in any life is an output of other things that are more valuable than the career win or the activity you're engaging in itself. It is about the kind of person you want to be and the decisions you make to align with that person moment by moment. In addition, we find that people never are truly satisfied because the goalpost just keeps moving. So even if they went to the right school or got the right job or hit that next milestone, that title, promotion, the move, it just never feels like it's enough. When we look at the studies on what motivates people to do their best work, we find that work in and of itself is not the motivator. The true motivators are things like impact, friendship, service, learning, family, things like that. And when you hear these words, you'll think that these are the markers of well-lived lives, and you wouldn't be wrong. We have this whole career and success thing backwards. And instead of chasing career success, we need to chase the conditions that create well-lived lives. I remember when I was first changing careers, I did love my work. I was doing supply chain at what is now Stanley Black & Decker. Yet I also knew that there was this next career step for me too. I was dating Jay at the time, who's now my husband. And even though I had friends and family, I had a boyfriend, my career did take over most of my life. I wasn't making nearly as much money as I do now, but I was saving my money. I was investing in an IRA, 401ks. I paid for all my own things, my car, my apartment, my travels. I funded and found them all myself. I found a rental in Baltimore, decorated this tiny loft apartment to make it more cozy. I would even buy one fresh flower each week to put in this bud vase that I had. I planned, and I remember I took this epic trip to Japan with my closest friends and Jay in the first year I started working. And it's funny because we're going to go to Japan this year again too. It'll be the second time. I remember I moved and I would take these leadership roles on every 6 months. I put all this resourcefulness and aliveness in my energy into my life and my work. And it was not my calling to do supply chain, but the sense of learning and the growth that occurred was so much more valuable. I was making this transition as a human being that was as much personal as it was professional. I was figuring out how to save money, be independent, to live in this new place, to organize my personal and work days, to plan for my future while enjoying life now, to see what it's like to work in a corporate environment for months and months on end. And I could now see how much perspective I had. And these kinds of transitions have massive growth potential to influence so many next steps in our lives. And whether it is the first job, the next one, the first time you move, the time you start a family, the time you're getting married, the time that you are making a big shift in your career, we often discount how our personal lives are experiencing tremendous growth. And instead, we only value the professional growth. And that would be a mistake. Our mental or emotional health is what keeps us going when times get tough in our professional lives. Our family lives and our relationships keep us healthy and happy so that we have perspective, we have support when we're going through tough times. Our physical health practices are what keeps us focused and able to handle the stress of a heavy workload. Our spiritual lives create that mental capacity and the vision to handle tough people or moments when you want to turn away and hide from work. And instead, you show up to create a version of your life and work based on something bigger than you. And our career and the abundance it creates is an output then of the practices and all these other practices that we put into place. Yet when we let our careers and our jobs drive our entire lives, we find that we have a hard time disconnecting from work. We keep thinking about it as we go to bed. And even when we're on vacation, we unplug our laptops, but we take them with us just in case and miss being present for the other parts of our lives. How do we put our career in perspective across our lives? How do we keep it from being one of the main reasons why we are happy or unhappy? The way I do this is that we create mental resilience and skills through spiritual high performance practices. And there are two ways that I do this with my clients and our coaching together, so that them as a person, as an entity, as an energy are bigger than the roles that they have, the places that they work out, and the organizations that they are working with. And the first thing I do is that we create work environments that support their lifestyles and the demands of your personal life. So this often looks like taking stock of your hours, how you're interacting with people, whether or not you're using your gifts, how to develop them even further, whether or not the compensation or the time works for you is also a consideration, and how to make more money or money differently if necessary. The reason this works is because you are controlling what you can control. Work isn't just about pushing as much through as possible. It's about the finesse we have to craft the work in a way that makes sense for us. And it's the finesse we have as we do the work, how simple we can make the work, how elegant, how we can make the work more of a craft, a combination of both art and science, so that we can see how our time spent is creating true impact. It's elevating and helping us cultivate something different. It's helping our own lives and the lives of others at the same time. And you can see how this starts to elevate the way that you work and how you work. And the second is we create and increase skills in how you communicate with and lead people. We as humans generally will work over 90,000 hours in our lives. We spend 2/3 or more of our lives working. So if you don't have the skills to effectively communicate, to lead the people you work with and yourself, the experience that you will have of working with others tend to be full of stress and suffering. And when we don't work on these skills, we end up blaming others. We end up wishing they were different. We move from job to job. We feel like a victim. We wonder why everywhere we go, there are difficult people and situations that feel untenable. We want to quit constantly. We burn ourselves out emotionally. And we're mentally working so hard because we're compensating for this lack of communication or leadership skills. These skills allow you to quickly assess and influence others, to make decisions, to help bring people together, to solve problems without putting everything on your shoulders. When you think of delegation, providing feedback, having tough conversations, there are ways to do this without feeling like you need to run away or totally dump everything all at once onto the person in front of you because you've been holding it all back and finally it all has to come out. You end up realizing that there are other ways to do this and that these leadership skills add value to any place you go, and that you make the places you work at better because you're the one who can lead and communicate effectively when others struggle to do so. These two skills alone of creating work environments that suit you, communicating and leading others, will provide you with so many more options of where and how you work. These increase your spiritual, mental, emotional, physical capacity. And these are the things that then drive the happiness at work for us and then creates success. It creates a better personal and home life at the same time. You're not as stressed, nor are you working so many hours. And you take these skills into your personal lives as well. You're making decisions well. You're communicating with your family and your friends way more effectively too. And this is why creating this level of space where you work now is often the first thing we focus on when we work together. We go to the root cause, we transform the way you work and live, we give you the tools and the strategies you need, and then mindset shifts so that you can have that feeling of fulfillment and success before you ever have to change into another role or do something drastic. Career success then becomes inevitable because you're working on the inputs that affect not only how you work and live a more balanced life, but the kind of leader you are at work. And now that you have seen what is possible, do you really want to continue thinking the old way about career success? The old way being just focusing solely on success alone, having the perfect role or job? Or do you want to make this shift and focus on the inputs that create success and well-lived lives, having the ability to create work environments that fit your lifestyle, and learning to communicate and lead more effectively? So if you want to take the second route and have both meaningful work and a well-lived life, you'll want to watch my free training on how to stop hiding and overworking and instead stand out and lead a life of more time and financial freedom. You can then apply to join my Spiritual Achiever program, where you are going to create your next chapter with spiritual and high performance strategies to achieve time and financial freedom using my proven method. It is risk-free. You either start seeing results within your first month or I give you your money back. You can schedule your call at www.mayemson.com/contact, and we'll see you inside. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmpson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayempson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.